What's up, guys? I'm the Wrestlegamer. Welcome back to Let's Play Battleship Bishojo right here on the arcade. On the last episode, we met Nurse Gigantica, in a sense, and she kind of gave us a full examination, and she seems to be a little like Kyo in a sense from time to time. A little bit eerie, and I don't know. I don't want to say the word in front of my kid brothers because my kid brothers are here and they're not supposed to know about that. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and then go to the upper decks and see what we see up there. So, yeah, I guess it would be a good idea to check out the upper decks. Who do we have here? She seemed to be deeply focused on a particular spot, rubbing down the deck thoroughly with a sponge. Bucket nearby. She must have heard me or something because she suddenly glanced up to see me, a broad smile covering her face. So she might be like one of the cheery characters, maybe? Well, she is a blonde. And she's got... Hi there! She stood up so quickly that... was I surprised... Alright, she stood up so quickly that... Was I surprised... I think it should be the other way around. I think it should be that I was surprised she didn't fall back over. And so they have it, was I surprised she didn't fall back over. She stretched her arm out towards me. Name Sophie, and you? I paused, slightly taken aback by this, but slowly took her hand. Her handshake was fervent, and her grip was tighter than I expected. Name's Daiki. Well, it's nice to meet you, Daiki. Don't mind me, I was just doing the usual cleaning up here. Well, let's offer her a hand and see what happens. Looks like some tough work. Do you need a hand? Nah, I was just finishing up, but thanks for the offer, though. I won't lie, I was glad she turned my offer down, but one person cleaning up an entire ship like this couldn't have been easy. So, how are you feeling? Well, a bit confused as to where I am and what's going on, for starters. Oh, that's normal. She spoke to me as she started winding up some loose ropes. See, we didn't expect to find anyone on our last voyage. We were just sort of following the Mahoko, and suddenly there you were. Well, not exactly like that, but... Wait, Mahoko? What are you on about? Oh, I guess that's what Captain Capsy calls her fancy compass. Has she not shown you yet? You should totally ask her about it. It's really cool. So... do you have any questions? She was quick on the uptake. I could hardly get a word in edgewise with her. So how long have you been out here? Well, I've been here for as long as Katsu has, so about a year now. We picked up Olivia and Miyoko within the past few months, though. Ah, so have you met them yet? They usually hang out in the lower quarters. Well, if you haven't, you should. They're really sweet once you get to know them. Her mouth was so going at 1,000,000 miles a minute, it was hard to keep up. Well, Miyoko can kind of be up front when you first meet her, so be careful with that. Right. Oh, and Olivia doesn't talk much, but she is super helpful on the ship, seriously. I'll keep that in mind. She had finished up with the rope, hanging it up on a hook on the mast. You're not from here, are you? Well, obviously. No, I mean, well, here, let me explain. She leaned on the nearby ship fence and patted the spot next to her, indicating me to join her. I took a second before stepping, leaning back, making sure that the wooden fence was safe to lean on first. So, we were sailing towards our destination, but we didn't quite know what it was. We never found it before. And then there was this big bright blue circle on the horizon that we sort of followed, and then suddenly we were near a big pier. That's where we found you. Kinda. We were sort of in the water out a long ways from it at that point. So we went into emergency action to get you up before it was too late. As soon as we drew you up from the waters, we looked up and the pier was gone. Vanished. Same with that circle thing we followed. You don't say. It's the weirdest thing. Both Katsu and I were going off instinct, sort of, and we just kind of did what we thought was right. But before we knew it, we had a stowaway. The only open room we had was a storage room. I'm so sorry I couldn't get you a mattress. I wanted you to sleep in my bed, but... hold it right there. What? She blinked at me for a second before turning a shade of deep pink. Oh, no. I didn't mean it like that. I mean like letting you have the mattress and I sleep nearby or something. Uh-huh. I gotta admit, flustered Sophie was rather adorable. She was fidgeting and messing with her hands and hair and trying to avoid all eye contact she possibly could. Calm down, I was only teasing. Let out a playful chuckle, but it didn't seem to help all that much. She gave me a pout and her hands at her side. That's not very funny, you know. Oh, lighten up, Sophie. You gotta be able to take a joke when around me, or else we'll never get along. With that, she let out a deep sigh and gave me a punch to the arm. What was that for? It actually stung. Didn't expect something like that. She didn't respond, but I think it was enough for me to get the picture. She finally calmed, frowning a bit before a small smile returned to her face. Alright, sorry. It's fine. Now, are you sure you didn't need any help cleaning this place up? Nope, like I said, I just finished for the day. But I'll keep your offer in mind for next time. And with that, she almost skipped away to the lower decks, out of sight. I let out a sigh, rubbing my shoulder again and wincing. Really gotta keep that appearances can be deceiving thing in mind. Now, where to? Well, since we still have a lot of time left in the episode, let's go downstairs. Guess this is where we'll probably meet Olivia. I found myself in what I took to be the boiler room. Why, hello there. I leaned on the nearby table, trying to be as casual as I could. She turned around from where she was working on and gave me a quick look over, her intention swiftly switching back to her task at hand. And what do you want? She was abrasive, but I tried my best to follow up regardless. Not much, just sort of exploring the ship. It looks pretty interesting down here. Something I said must have rang well with her because she slightly paused before continuing. Alright, well, just don't touch anything. Is it really that dangerous down here? Only if you're dumb enough. Well then, I have to really watch myself then. That got a small chuckle out of her, but she still kept her focus on what she was working on. So, what's your name? We're really doing this now? I mean, yeah, I guess. She sighed heavily and pulled herself up from the boiler. Wiping the perspiration from her brow, she laid her stony eyes on me sternly. Name's Olivia. You? It's Daiki. Charm. No, if you don't mind. She leaned back and resumed her work. Clangs and creaks came from the device. I kind of just stood there and watched her for a bit. She took notice of that pretty quickly. Did you need something? I don't know. Kind of just fun to sit here and watch you work. That got her attention. Oh, is it now? She stepped up to me slowly, an intimidating look on her face. I couldn't help but keep a big old smile on my face. I had dealt with plenty of these type of people before, men and women alike. Come on now, don't be like that. Look, I'm a new guy who just woke up on some random boat like an hour or so ago. The least you could do is show me some courtesy. Courtesy to you? What? Why? What did you do to earn my courtesy? Oh, she was fuming now. This was too fun. I should probably dial it down a bit, though. Don't want to get punched in the face today. You know, you're right. You're the ones who saved my butt, so I suppose I should be thanking you. She paused, glaring at me. So, thank you. Sincerely. You're welcome. She turned to face the table, scratching the back of her head. At least the tension had dialed back a bit. I turned and looked at the tables as well. They were all sorts of things strewn about. Hooks, screws, nails, tools, you name it. Well, she said not to touch anything, so let's continue to make conversation. So you're the handy woman on this ship? You'd like to call it that? Sure. And what do you call yourself then? I say engineer and leave it at that, honestly. The words always seem to have a bite to them. I like that. So you fix things, like that boiler back there? That boiler is the one thing that keeps this ship moving. Could have sworn that that was your captain up there. She keeps it on track. I keep it turned on. You have good experience with turning things on then, Olivia? She blushed at my statement. What are you on about? I couldn't help but let out a laugh. You're just too easy to rile up, it seems. Chill out, Olivia. You're speaking to me as if you know me when we just met, sir. Sir, please just call me Daiki. I ain't a butler or a general, alright? Daiki. There we go. What kind of name is that, anyway? I don't know, the one I was giving? You're not the first person to ask that, actually. I looked back over to the table, curious as to what the object in the center was. It seemed as if she was building something. I gestured at the device on the table. So what's that you got there? She refused to acknowledge it for a second. I decided to push it a bit. It looks interesting. Did you build it, or did you find it somewhere? She let out a slight sigh, flipping her hair and deciding to finally answer my question. It's a project of mine. Something I've been working on for a few months now while I've been out at sea. Last thing I need is for some dunce like you messing it up. Hey, whoa now, easy on the insults. Do I really come off as a dunce to you? From these past few minutes? Yeah, a pretty big one at that. Ouch. I stepped around her, away from the table, and took a look at the boiler. So this is what runs the whole thing, eh? You seem easily distracted, but yes, that's the boiler. It supplies fuel and energy for the entire ship to be propelled by. I was giving it the daily tune-up, making sure everything was in top shape. Don't you mean ship shape? What's with you and bad jokes? It's one of the only things I know how to do right. Once again, we were silent. Olivia definitely wasn't the talkative type. She just stood there, staring daggers at me as I inspected the boiler. It's a fine piece of machinery, I can say that. What I can't say is that we've had anything quite like this on the ships that I was stationed on. Oh, you were on ships before too? Why do you think I was on that pier in the first place? I was headed back on board after my liberty was up. Pier? You know, that large wooden boardwalk thing that you guys were on a collision course for? I'm afraid I have no idea what you're referring to, but that was likely because I was down here. All I know of last night is that we took up a drifter. That's all. I wouldn't call myself a drifter. At least not anymore. Uh-huh. Are we done here yet, or... Yeesh. Still not the friendliest person, I see. I just have a lot of work to do, and I would rather not burn hours talking is all. Fair enough. Hopefully you can get some time off. I'm actually really interested in that. I gestured back at the table and the device. If that's something you're working on, I'd love to know more. Seems like a very interesting device from the looks of it. Almost like a grappling hook, I think. Yeah, well, I'm unsure what you mean by grappling hook, but this is more of a portable harpoon gun. One that isn't bound to the ship's helm. Really now? Sounds ambitious. She smiled at those words. Well, yeah, it's still in its early stages. It'll be some time before it's complete, but I'm close to being able to test it out. For the first time while I was down here speaking with her, she was beaming. It was as if her personality pulled a 180-degree turn. But as if on cue, she took notice of this and swiftly turned it back around. Now, if you don't mind... Alright, I'll leave you be. Best of luck down here with all of this. Let me know if you need a hand with anything, alright? She almost rolled her eyes at this statement, but nodded. I'm sure you'll be the first person I ask, Daiki. I chuckled and made my way back up the stairs to the main deck. So, after meeting meeting these two, we're going to go ahead and call it an episode. If you guys like this video, be sure you slam that like button like a champion. If you guys want to see more of Battleship Bishojo right here on the arcade, you know the two ways you got to do it. You got to leg drop the subscribe button and hit that bell icon to turn on notifications, so that way you guys never miss out on another one of my videos here on my channel. So with that being said, I am your friendly neighborhood Wrestlegamer, reminding all of you out there to stay awesome. Bye, guys!